Welcome to the Smoking the Rope podcast. I'm your host, as always, Ryan Basor, and today is episode 57. Super excited to have on my good friend for over a decade now, legendary Michigan cannabis activist, Richard Clement. Richard, thanks for coming on, man.
Hey, thanks for having me. Thanks for having me,
Pre-
Ryan.
Appreciate it. Can't look forward to telling a few stories.
Uh,
First, my co-host, as always, Kevin.
What's up, Ryan? I lost you there for a minute. I don't know if you can hear me, but yeah, everything's good today. Looking forward to having Richard on the show. He's always a good time, and I look forward to hearing some of the stories.
okay.
Looks like Ryan's having some technical difficulties.
Yeah, no big deal. I guess we'll just continue on with Ryan when he comes back in, Tom. Richard, it's good to have you on the show. We know you guys have been, or that you've been active in marijuana for quite some time. So why don't you give us a quick rundown of your history with marijuana in the state of Michigan?
Well, it's in within the state of Michigan. It's been since '99, but I've been an activist since 1975 when I went to school in Alabama and IT, and I went from IT to weed because I think it's more of the, I would say, nonviolent social change that everybody talks about. So around 1999, I started getting more active in front of like Lansing City Council and actually ran as a write-in candidate for state Senate seat number District 23. And guess who was running? It was Gretchen Whitmer, and she beat me handily. We did get our issue across. In 2001, I was part of the MRA, not the MRA, the PR. They call that the Personal Responsibility Act. And that was taken off until 9/11 happened. And that was around the same time that Rainbow Farms kicked in. So from between 2000, 2007, I was doing activist work. And what really set it off, I remember I becoming joining Michigan Normal, but in 2007, I met my fate on the highway and got stopped for pot and bath. Some of it was my fault, but I ended up in Clinton County Jail and going in front of a judge. And with the help of Matt Abel and everything, if ever got out of here, and the judge, we ended up pleading it down to disorderly conduct. But that same day, the people from the MPP were doing the cannabis drive, doing the drive to get it on the 2008 ballot. And so in 2007, I personally collected 4,192 signatures to get this shit on the ballot. And with a collaborative group of us, we finally got all our signatures approved. And 2008, been pushing, like I said, we got it legal. I guess in
And then
2010.
that's when I met you, Richard. I wanted to jump back in here. That was my
Please.
first question. I wanted to give you the formal introduction you deserve too, as well, and then we can jump back into 2009 and tens. I got
Okay.
some good lead-ins for that.
Okay.
Richard, like you just heard Richard say, Ingham County Normal. He's been a technical consultant, and has a great career besides marijuana. Not everyone knows Richard for marijuana, but currently he's the legislative aide and the cannabis expert for State Rep Cynthia Johnson, which is awesome having Richard in the halls of in Lansing pushing cannabis, and
Oh yeah.
after so many years of yelling free the weed and let weed'em ring in the halls of cannabis.
Yes.
And it's so we're excited about that. But I remember, Rich, the first time I ever became aware of you is I was one of the patient caregivers '09, and I was just eating up any information I could get, and I saw you in the picture at Third Coast, opening, helping the big bud opening the first
Oh yeah.
dispensary, and
Oh
that
yeah.
was I was like, all right. And then, I started being heavily involved in the Lansing stuff. And I remember at the Lansing City Council meetings in the back, you'd sit there and it's like, I'm Richard Clement from Ingham County Normal. And I think, oh, we support this. And oh, marijuana and it should be legal, and start yelling. And Carol would go, all right, Richard. And so it was
Oh
awesome. But
boy.
then but I really remember the time, and we talked about it as we were as Capital City caregivers. We would rent buses and go protest in Oakland County for Nick Agros and all the different cases that were going on, and
Absolutely.
we had one ready to go. It was the day after the election of 2010. And I called
Oh,
Richard. I'm like, Richard, where are you at? And he's like, I'm not coming. I'm not coming. And it was because Bill Schuette had just won the election. And Richard, I've
oh,
never seen you so depressed since or before. But I talked you into getting on the bus, and we went down and
well,
protested in Ferndale, Mike
thank you.
Bouchard, and but you were right. You knew what was coming with Bill Schuette, but ahead of before anyone. I mean, you were. I mean, you could barely sit up, so I'll never forget
Woo,
that.
man.
And but look, all these years later, we made it. So
Yes, we did. Yes,
you're
we
good, big
did.
influence on me working in Lansing. Always remember you and Greg Stark,
Yeah.
that was always in Lansing and always doing the work ahead of us, and that was fun to get you know that way. But besides that, you were just talking into 2010. Why don't you kind of go into there because you've been here every step of the way.
Yeah, 2010, that Schuette got elected and the whole against Republican, all pot haters. And everybody was talk about getting rid of Bill Schuette, getting rid of Bill Schuette. We got all this shit going on. I said, no, it's time to walk the and ended up doing the research and developing a petition to recall Bill Schuette. And I went up to I was driving up from Lansing to Midland, and at the second time they were paying me. No, well, I'll do your recall petition. I said, no, I'll do it myself. And the third time, the language got approved, and from what I got internally, he was not a happy camper about that. I mean, he put a lot of work. He sent like three big time $400 an hour lawyers to stop me, and they lost. So, and then like, at the same time, we was up there at the Capitol. I guess my work in foster legislation and created an awareness in the Lansing area. And Ryan, I always want to thank you in 2010. Almost you saved my life, little. I was super. I mean, the day before the election, gang, we were calling Bill Schuette and Rick Snyder every name you could
Oh
think
no.
of. We chased his bus harbor, and we were waiting for him. There's a whole about 30 of us saying, "No duty on Schuette." Yeah. And, yeah. And so yeah, for 2010 on, been in the forefront of trying to actually save the marijuana laws. And 2013, I was helping a former state representative and elected city councilman George Cushenberry in the Detroit area. And I was on his staff for 4 years as his cannabis expert. We were effective. We were the only vote in favor of Detroit cannabis, and they basically beat the hell out of us up there and actually schemed up to get rid of us, which they did. But when you lose the battle, but you won the war in the end. In the end, and I would like to say Ryan and all you guys, and now we're in a big hyper type thing where the corporate people are coming in and trying to run the little people out with the caregiver rules and stuff like that. But 2010 on, and then like I said, I worked there, and Johnson's been a big 420 cannabis supporter, and she hired me on staff the first of the year, right in the middle of a pandemic. And I've been her cannabis expert for it. And what my accomplished, what one proud thing I've done, I was able to organize the first Michigan Legislative Cannabis Caucus. And that's a group of 9 legislators now. We're tracking all anything cannabis related. If it's the people know, I want to be the front end to the voice for the movement to the caucus. We had people like Senator Irwin and Marshall Bullock, Senator Bullock, and a couple of reps, Rep Sarah Anthony and Julie Brixey. They're all part of the caucus. So really, that caucus really needs to hear from you. And basically, they're like a catalyst for even getting introduced to get what you want. Okay? So they meet the fourth Friday of every month. And right now we have the email list of all of them. But what we would like have is some we know Republicans weed is bipartisan. And right now we got all Democrats, but we would have had Graham Filer, and I guess he was on a moral compass, and so I don't want to be part of that, playing that McGruff the dog type thing. But now with the Cannabis Caucus, we were able to track bills like that one where they want to reduce limits and nanogram limits and stuff like that. Also, I want to be proud to say that I've been working internationally with the Canadian Normal, and we were stopping people from actually getting arrested and outright busted and jacked at the small marijuana. So now you're able to cross the border and declare your pot, okay? And if they find it, if they find it, then if it's less than 7 grams, they ain't gonna say nothing. But at one time, he was getting raped, strip searched, fined, and now they kind of eased up over there too. So the federal level. So we got to do something at the federal level, and what been doing there is that been tweeting the president and getting on their website and telling them, hey, it's time to free the weed, or release all federal pot prisoners. Okay, we do have a lot of federal pot prisoners at this moment. I know everybody knows Danny Trevino's one, but there's another group of others. But the point is, with the federal law, I mean, they are ridiculous. They're just insanity. It's just straight up insanity. So we need federal legislation to accept out-of-state medical marijuana cards. Okay.
Hey, Richard.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Finish up if you don't. Good.
That's going to say states like Alabama's got passed medical marijuana laws, and it's like 38 states. But like I say, it's just a change in time. I don't want to get the out-of-state medical marijuana card type thing going too. So, yeah, I don't want to talk forever, but I know people got questions, and like I said, we went to Chicago in 1998. That was the undercover tour. I don't even remember Kathy Kennedy. I don't know if you remember her. She was a little bit before your time. It was 4 of us that went to Chicago. And when we marched in Chicago, they had like cops around, a whole squadron, like 4 ranks deep of police on the side, 4 ranks in the front, like we was going to cause trouble. And after we got through speaking at the square, they started sending them home. So they saw how peaceful we were. So it's been a long story where we are. No farther. So
Hey, Richard, I just wanted to tell a quick story about how I ran into you for the first time, and then I do have a question for you. But when I first moved back to Michigan in 2014, we joined the Michigan Cannabis Development Association, and that first summer there was the Republican conference happening up at Mackinac Island, and so myself and Willie Rashan and a couple other guys headed up to the conference to try to talk to some reps and try to sway them to see things our way, and so we got up there, and we're still real nervous. We're kind of scared to be up around these people because these aren't our people, and we're potheads and they aren't, and so we leave all our weed in the hotel and we get on the ferry over, and we had smoked before, but we sprayed plenty of cologne to make sure that we didn't stink when we came into one of those rooms, And so then we get off the island and we go into one of the first parties, and we're a little bit late, so they're already speaking and stuff. And so we try to slide in the back door as to not be noticed. And Willie looks over and sees you there. And obviously Willie had met you before, so he saw a friendly face and kind of gravitated over to you. And as soon as we saw you, you were like, "Oh, the weed guys are here!" And you started saying, "Free the weed!" And we're like, "No, Rich, no, we're just trying to blend in, we don't want anybody to notice us. We're just trying to get, this is our first action, and you just kept on with the free of the weed. And then I remember we ducked out the back and did a little partaking on one of the docks there. And I thought it was really cool. First time meeting you. But, my question to you, Richard, is where do you get the motivation, the confidence to do all this for all these years, knowing that eventually, they're going to try to push back at you or try to get you or take you down or whatever it is? What is it that gets you going every day?
Well, it's like, I'm not doing this for money. It wasn't about money. I just got pissed off. I'm saying, okay, it's time to over shit. It's just, that's what motivates me. And every victory that we got out of cannabis, is like a first down touchdown, And I know when we was working with Ryan there and they went up, I try to keep their story alive and tell them, hey, what the hell's going on? And I'm so proud that we crushed that Pat Miles, man. He had to go, okay?
Yeah.
Bitch, I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry either, man.
Yeah, we were hanging out. It was me, you, and Sam Riddle were hanging out there for that one.
Yeah. And he was freaking out, He's like, they were sending him some Miles got this, Pat Miles. He had the Black Caucus behind him, and some of them was like, you had people like Virgil Smith was I don't get me started, but they was all pot traders, okay?
Yeah.
They do one thing and, say one thing, do another. And I'm proud of that effort. We put together a rally, got the vote out, and Dana Nestle's been the best thing we ever put in there, okay? Yep. Dana Nestle's been the best thing we ever put in there. We don't need no flopping pot hater traders running around here. And it was an exciting moment.
Don't sugarcoat it. Don't sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
Yeah, call it what it is. I love that part about you, Richard.
Yeah. I mean, hey, guys, like, yeah. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. You finish your thought. No, finish your thought.
Oh, no. I remember, like, in Detroit by the name of Virgil Smith, and he was talking about, he was basically running against us, anti-pot. He got us taken out of the election, and then turns right around and tries to open up a marijuana dispensary on the other side of 8 Mile, And that kind of stuff we got to put it in. I mean, call them out and don't even let these guys even get started, because a traitor once is a traitor again, And I know you said something about the Detroit ordinance and stuff. Part of this thing is coming in, and I pulled. I don't know if you don't have the report, but each rec license to the city last year to each city was like $28,000 per license to a municipality, and Washtenaw County with the most of them as of March. Bay County, which is up here, okay, you got the UP here. Bay County right here has the second most pot recreational licenses in the state, I mean. And it just so happened got the most windmills up there too. So the wind turbines.
Yeah.
And it's kind of put 2 and 2 together. You got all these wind turbines up here in Bay County, and you got a lot of pot licenses. So that should tell you something. Okay?
They're looking for opportunities for their community.
Oh yeah.
They opted in, and Bay County really. I mean, it's there's a lot of growers up there, really good growers. It's and then they voted real high on Prop 1 too. That area, which is cool to see. And they leaned conservative as well. So that was really a telling tale, like you said. Marijuana is a issue reaches across the aisle. It's bipartisan, for sure.
Absolutely.
Richard. I saw it's a famous clip. I want to know how many views it got, and I still die laughing thinking about it. That clip of you hitting that joint on at Matt Abel's when you won the Prop One victory against.
That was classic. Yeah.
Oh man. I mean,
if
I felt
you're
so
watching the
good,
show,
man.
watch Google Richard. What would they Google to find that? Let
You
us
know, I think I don't know. I mean, it's just
Michigan Prop One victory celebration. Free the
something like-
weed. Try that. Yeah.
Okay, I got to tell people how to. That was the ultimate. I didn't realize how big that was, you know. And I bet it was especially on Fox News because they was dogging us out in the city. Especially, you know, when we was in city council and everything, and you know, there was nothing they could do. There was nothing to you know. It was, and then after that, Matt's office to the hotel where the Democrats were partying, and Dana Nessel was in there, and I went out there for I think it was Stabenow when they go to the stage and say, "Hey, congratulations," and went up there for Nessel. But I had just left Matt's office, and boy, I guess I was skunking. I was skunking pretty hard there. I didn't bother about any cologne and everybody. Boy, you smell good, you know, all that, and hugging Jocelyn Benson, you know, and had this big button from BDT, you know, free, you know, and it was an exciting time. And I was with Dana when she was going down to start it way back because I knew that the lawyers when I was looking for this lady because I knew when and everybody said get behind and Ryan, I said I'm gonna find her. I'm gonna make sure she win. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Hey Richard, another one of the things I remember about meeting you the first time up at Mackinac was I think you coined the term "pot for potholes." That's the first time I had heard that before, and I thought it was genius. We used it every chance we got an opportunity to, and then your live stream the other day, and it looks like a bill has got introduced to actually do pot for potholes. And so I was going to see if you could talk to us a little bit about that. Every time I see a bill get introduced without our input, I get nervous because is there an open-ended window for them to just take money and put it to where they want, or is this actually going to potholes, Richard?
Well, it's I'm looking at the bill now. I mean, I'm off the camera. This bill number 5247. And what it does, it amends the Highway Act. It amends these public rights money to the state trunk line. To keep it simple, it's a long-winded one. This Public Act 51 of 1951, and what they're doing, and what they've done before is they got going to put $5 million into a we call it an infrastructure disaster relief fund. Okay. $5 million. They're going to take 3 cents of the tax of the gas tax on motor fuel and put it into this fund. And I looked down through the bill, and on page 6, okay, this is already law. They have any excess funds that comes out of the Regulation Taxation Act. It's split along like 39.1% to the state trunk line fund for the purpose of section 1, 31% to county road commissions, and 21.8% to cities and villages. Okay, they've already made that part of law, and it's all, and you know, it's already in there. But so that money is technically could say pot for pothole. Highway department, it can go anywhere, but they got funds codified in law going to fix to roads and counties, cities, villages, and townships. So it's a modification add to the language, but it's just I was, you know, we started marijuana, and I just saw that in, and I said, wow, they did do pot for potholes. Okay.
So chalk up another win for Richard Clement on that one, eh?
Free the weed! Woo!
Let freedom ring.
Let weed'em ring.
Weed'em, yeah.
Yeah, let the weed be free from ivory. Let weed'em ring, baby. So it's exciting. It's exciting. And then we on an international level, they had the U.S. Office on Drug Control, ONDC, Office of Drug Control, whatever. But anyway, they've been having these meetings up in Vienna about decriminalizing cannabis, and countries have. But our representative to the UN is the FDA, okay? And the FDA, they was shucking and jiving, pussyfooting, whatever you want to do, bullshitting. I mean, straight bullshit. We need more time and research, hey, coronavirus, right? We approved something in 1 year. So I keep reminding them that it's safer than COVID, okay? Remember, the cannabis is safer than COVID, and you test positive for COVID or test positive for cannabis, where you're going to end up.
Well, cannabis can actually help you, against COVID-19.
You got that right. You got that right. And I thank our Governor Whitmer and Dana Nessel about their policies, because could you imagine right now if Bill Schuette was in the office right now? We all be dead. We would all be dead in jail. We sitting there right next to Danny Trevino, which he need to get the hell out of there, because you got to call bullshit on this stuff. It's just, I would say, legislatively, have anybody that has a congressperson in their district that's a pot hater need to go up in their office or schedule meetings and have a talk with them and push some of these bills, and then to kill bills that are detrimental, just like the one that Wentworth introduced for nanogram limits. Okay, that bill, that like I say, she put that in, but the truth is, a lot of very few make it into law. Each gets 5 bills per month to introduce, and a lot of them don't even use their quota, so they can, every month they get 5 bills, man. So,
Rich, I wanted to kind of go back to the Detroit. Yeah. I wanted to hear your take on a little bit more about the ordinance situation in Detroit. Yeah, we're up in northern Michigan, so kind of stuck in a little bit of a bubble. And I wanted to hear from someone other than the media about what's happening. And as far as the recreational situation in Detroit, I feel that it's going to leave a lot of Detroit cultivators and processors behind on the statewide market, as other companies come to the market, and Detroit's only able to produce for the medical market and not able to produce for the recreational market. What are the feelings, like, people, boots on the ground, these people looking to get into the market, but knowing that just a straight medical business model isn't the best model for longevity, and in order to compete in the statewide market.
Okay, the status of the ordinance now, it's on hold officially. Was declared likely unconstitutional, and the way the reading goes, it's likely to fail. But okay, so the real deal is that it was trying to bring equity to people that they wanted to set aside licenses from out of the 75 to go to Detroit residents, and been impacted by the drug war. Well, statewide we have an anti-affirmative action law that can't use quotas and all that other stuff. And so what happened, they took that to federal court, and the judge basically held up with the state law. What they're going to have to do now is basically try to get the same thing through making ordinances to, I would say, do restricted funds. If I'm going to have a recreational marijuana license going to in the city of Detroit, I want those funds specifically to rec centers. Okay, so we got to say recreational marijuana for rec centers, that type of thing. because each license right now, according to the state treasury department, is worth $28,000 per license. And if you can multiply that times like 20, if you multiply it times 15, it's $420,000. Okay. To get, I mean, if they do strike it down, you're going to have to use other means through recreation, through ordinances, and I don't know, I wouldn't call it set aside because it'll come state laws, but funds specific projects like say rec centers, roads or something like that, schools. I mean, some like science programs in schools. Now, just don't just say blanket schools. Make it a specific type of thing. So it's on limbo right now, and we'll see how. I mean, I'll see how it goes. But if it does get shot down, ordinances and other type of legislation at the local level.
All right. Yeah, it's a good take, and I like at least getting aggressive and try to start doing it if it's not gonna if it's not gonna be possible to make it go to Detroiters, at least have it earmarked for things that are gonna impact the community. So I like rec centers. Richard, I remember when you retired, I thought you were done. You just go and now you're back working, coming out of retirement and getting involved in things again. Before we wrap up, what do you got planned? Do you know what you're going to be doing in the next few years, or just kind of seeing where the legalization road takes us?
Well, legalization the next few years, I hope to be still around, and I might get back, do some type in the educational field. I've always been in IT and cannabis, education and cannabis. And I'm retired from working 8 to 5, but you never stop working. Okay. I call it from 8 to fun. Okay. So, like you see, you don't have those set work hours and stuff, but when I work for the rep, it's not about the money. I work for the rep because, it's the right thing to do. Like to help her out and actually organizing that cannabis caucus so that people can stay on track is kind of a major accomplishment. And Rep Johnson, she really needs the help she can get as far as cannabis and getting laws through. So
Sounds like all of them do.
oh, they all do. They all do. And the key is to push it right through these not the subcommittees. And if we get a good bill, we need to work the people in that committee. And if you get a bad bill, then they say, well, you need to work the people in that committee to knock it down. But I'll tell you, change the caregiver. It's going to be a group of legislatures being lobbied to reduce the count from 12 plants to 3. The kind of things they planning. So it's a strong push by the corporate people. And but I
But say that.
okay.
So I find it interesting to say that the number is 3 because we just received an MRA bulletin about selling plants at provisioning centers at the recreational level, and that limit per transaction is 3.
Yeah, it's a hot number.
Yep. So that's an interesting number, right?
Right. And that's the
Yeah, that's
rumor.
it.
But I say keep the 12. Keep the 12 for the medical, man.
Yeah, keep it the same. That's interesting, Richard, that you're in the belly of the beast there, seeing what goes down, and they're approaching you. If they've even done their research on you, they might say stuff to play their hand. They got to do their research. So, yeah, and I don't think we've talked about it on this show a lot. I don't think it's gonna anything's gonna get passed. Having that super majority is gonna be tough, and having a group of people against it. So I'm glad you're in there doing the work, Richard. That's it for time. I wanted to let you keep your car. I
want a picture on this card, man. See, picture. It's a state law, Public Act 306, Section 8, Part 6E. I want that picture on that card. It's a law.
It's been they're down well over 11, 12 years. They're behind on that now.
They don't have to follow them.
No.
Well, right now
Let's,
they're breaking the law.
We are.
They're breaking
We
the
are.
law. They're actually breaking the law.
But we're gonna wrap it up. Kevin, any final parting words for Richard?
Yeah, I just wanted to thank you for coming on the show today. It's been entertaining to listen to you, and it always is chatting with you. I appreciate all that you've done over the years to keep this thing going. You know, myself, Ryan, and Tom have come in, you know, kind of late in the game as to what you've been doing, and so we appreciate your start, and we just kept pushing the rock with you. And I'm glad that we've gotten some progress in our lifetime. And again, thank you very much for all that you've done for us.
And thank you guys for being there and fighting along with me. And you know, let's. I mean, it's all about the stand lifted and let's hit to the goal.
Well, it's more than just cannabis, right? If we can lift each other up, we can lift each other up in
Right.
so many other ways. It's just cannabis is a vehicle for all of us to kind of find a middle ground and start to build the foundation from there and bridges instead of walls. So, but you're an inspiration, man. I can't wait till I can be working 8 to fun soon enough. I hope, but. Until we meet next time, keep fighting the good fight, man. We appreciate you coming on the show. It's love hearing your stories, and we'll see you around.
It's good to see everybody, and let's stay in touch. Like I said, I'll be in Lansing. I plan to be in Lansing Friday for that cannabis thing on the riverfront. And September 15th is coming up. So this Capitol rally.
I'll be there.
And,
yeah, Richard
there?
should stop by. Yeah, I think I'm be speaking at it. Should stop by the office. I'm meet Covert Law and myself, Josh, and James. We just bought the old building down the street. That's for the new office. Show you that and catch up.
Absolutely.
So,
I'll be
yeah,
there Wednesday too. Next
okay.
week. One day.
That's September 17th?
15th.
15th.
September 15th.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, we'll be.
Yep. Cool. Nah, awesome. Richard, thanks for being on. Always, this is our 57th show, and we've got to relive a lot of Michigan and cannabis history, and this is one of the best ones.
Great to see you, man.
Thanks. Glad I met you 12 years ago, and let's keep it going with that.
Yeah.
See everybody next week.
Peace.